Hello, Lexies. Welcome back to the Luxury Life Show. I'm your co-host, Amy. I was just thinking, I'm your co-host. Yeah, I'm your co-host, Amy. And of course, right beside me, my other co-host, Kat L. Today, we're going to talk about Chanel. Because the price increase just happened worldwide. I think for us in North America, it happened on March the 2nd. And yes, including Canada, so USA and Canada. And it was sort of secret. Like, I mean, we've heard about it coming, but no one really knew until it came, and then it just happened. Um, I wonder though, did anybody go and buy something right before the price increase? Or did you buy anything after the price increase? But anyway, in today's topic, we wanted to chat about it. We have a few slides for you as well. Because everything is going to be surrounding this whole hot topic, right? The huge price increase. And so we actually have a few things we wanted to discuss, to talk about, 3 points. So let me just share the slides now so that we can just get that out of the way and see some like actual analytics of what's had happened. And
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's been
it is.
like, yeah, I mean, for Singapore, it was quite secretive. We were just talking about it last week, where we would know when the price increase would come, right? We would know the exact date. But it feels like this round, the date was a little bit more elusive, and
Mhm.
it was so close to the actual price increase that we found out like a few days, like 2 3 days before, and like, oh, it happened.
Mhm. So I think for North America, obviously, I've seen it. I think the first time I've seen it was on Instagram. There was maybe it's in one of those, right? Either Purse Bob or Purse Affair, whatever. Not Purse Affair, the other one. Where they were like,
Bob talk.
"Oh, there's gonna be a price increase," and then I think I've seen it on some chatters that it's gonna be March 2nd. But it didn't matter anyway because I went on that same week before the price increase. I went to my Chanel store and I browsed around. Even if I wanted to beat it and buy the thing that I'm missing in my collection,
Mhm.
they didn't have any stock anyway.
Right.
So I wouldn't have been able to beat the price increase. But if you had, then good on you. But yes, so the thumbnail, right? I put the current price of the small classic flap in Canadian dollars after taxes in Canada. So the taxes here in Canada, well, it varies depend on your province, but the highest is where I used to live, which is 15%. So you would be paying a whopping 14,116 and then 25 cents. It basically the retail price went up by 18.3% in Canada for the small. The medium and the large went up also by a lot, but by less than 18%. Still, it's just insane. And so anyway, we're gonna get started. As a reminder, if you do have questions or remarks, please comment with question marks in front, just like this, so that we can really see your questions, since we're on a different platform. But let's just take a look at some prices, shall we? I kind of grab a few of these charts from 3 different sources. So we're first going to look at the US ones, since a lot of these blogs, this one is Purse blog, are in USD. So in the US, and I circled the ones that are the most popular bags, right? The minis. If you were to buy a mini today, you would be paying, sorry, the first one is the rectangular mini. You would be paying $500 more today compared to before March 2nd, and it went up 11%. The small went up by 17%, so you would be paying a whole $1,400 more, and these are pre-tax amounts. So you see the old price, you see the new price, you see the increased percentage, and you see the difference. Now, the Chanel top handle mini, also you're going to be paying $600 more. 12.5% increase, etc., etc., etc. In fact, I put the arrows at the highest percentage increase. So the small classic flop went up by the most. Cocoa handles small went up by the most. I was shocked by that one. I was like, oh my goodness, I just sold all my cocoa handles small. What do you think about this, Kat?
What is there to think about it?
It is what it is, right?
It is what it is, but I'm trying to do like a little comparison of prices.
Yeah, the
Classic,
USD is very strong right now
yeah, the
compared to
USD
the
is
Canadian.
really high, 9.6. Wow, I'm looking at the classic flap. I don't know. I mean, if you already own classic flaps or mini rectangulars, this is like a joyous moment for you. But if you are, I mean, you ask me what I think, right? But if you're trying to get this back now, it's so crazy.
It is. You're paying
9.6.
over $10,000 because this is pre-tax
Oh, that's
for a
right.
classic flap. So like in Canada, right? We have basically today is like 1.38 conversion. So 14,000. There you go. But let's look at more of the prices. Even the walks have increased by quite a bit, 13%. So you'd be paying $400 more. The Chanel 19, which I one of my favorite, also went up. Actually, the small size, they all went up by the most. The 19 small went up by 12%. So you'd be paying $700 more. It's insane. But these are US prices. I don't live in the US, but we all feel the same sort of like pain, right? All of a sudden, overnight, you're paying double-digit percentage more, right? I mean, some things like actually for you guys, the 22 bag went up by under 10%. In Canada, it went up by 15%, the one that I used to have. That's insane. So that's why I put this chart as well for comparison. So we have the US on the left upper corner, Canada on the right upper corner, and then Europe. So even just looking at the exact same bag, Canada went up by the most percentage-wise. Europe,
Last
10%, not so bad, right? I mean, it's still bad, but it's in comparison. And plus, our prices are before tax. We have to add tax to it. I mean, it hurts. It just, wow. It is insane. And actually, everything in Canada went up by double-digit percentage increase. It's an average of between 15, I think between 13 to like 18, 19% increase. It's insane.
I've been trying to look for the price of the Chanel 22 in small in Singapore, but for some weird reason, they haven't updated it in their app. Maybe,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know why. I only see the large ones. And
interesting. Because I know the price from before since I had one, and then we have the updated price, which is why when I found out, I told you right away. I'm like, oh my goodness, babe, I don't know if I can get it anymore because it went up a whopping 15.4%, which I added it here on the chart. So this is another chart that I found on another
wow.
site. I added it at the end. That's my own line. The last line, the Chanel 22 small, because I used to have it. It went up by 15%. I was like, oh my gosh, it hurts. So like Canadian prices, oh my gosh. I mean, doesn't matter where you are, you're paying a lot more nowadays. So it boils down to this question now. Are you still shopping at Chanel anymore? And if you are, what would you buy, right? And also, what is still worth buying? Because at
Yeah.
this point, and yeah, we know it's always expected. There's going to be price increase every year. We expect it. We almost know it will happen. We don't know exactly when, but we know and we expect it. We don't know how much percentage it will go up every time. Sometimes it's a little more moderate. Sometimes it's crazy like this. But we all know it happens. So at what point is this invisible line crossed? Or has it crossed a long time ago?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
just for perspective, right? I just wanted to, give you some like real like pictures and like right beside it, the price, right? If you were to buy the card holder today, and these are all Canadian prices, you're going to be paying after tax $713 for a card holder. And just before March 2nd, it was, I don't know. I mean, it was a lot less for sure. It was not 620 before tax. It was like still in the 500 range.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
5, I think.
yeah. So, if you don't have a card holder and you want one, or if you're a collector and you want to buy more, you are actually paying $700 for one now. More comparison. If you want to buy a walk today, and this is just the classic, right? It's not the seasonal, it's not the one with the twist lock, it's not the boy version, just the classic. You are paying almost $5,000 for this. It's 4,858 in Canada after tax. Wow. This used to be the price of the mini.
Oh, yeah.
This used actually, I think I paid less. Let me think about it. Did I pay less for my mini square?
I
I
think
think I
I paid like
did.
three
I did.
something, 3,000 something for my mini square. But that was a long time ago. Like 3,700 or something.
Right. So you
It
bought
just
yours a
was.
while ago. I bought mine in mine was from Cruise. I think mine is Cruise 2017. So it's still 5 years ago. Yeah, I know. But 5 years ago with this amount, well, actually for less than this amount, you could have gotten a square mini. I wonder if you could have just gotten the rectangular with this amount. That's what I'm wondering right now. Moving on. If you want to get a square mini nowadays, you're paying 7,130 after tax. Ouch.
I don't know.
Ouch.
Ouch, yeah.
This is super ouch. This one, I'm debating. Like we're gonna debate this and we're gonna talk about it after. Is this even still worth it today? Are you gonna buy one today at this price? Let us know in the comments. The same mini but with a top handle. Almost $8,000. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It's crazy. This is crazy. I mean, this one, I really do love it though. Like I have this in the black caviar. Luckily, I was still able to get the caviar version for my friend. Pre-loved, of course, but I'm so glad I got one. But yeah,
Ugh.
now it's just, wow, insane. The new prices. Chanel 19. Oh my goodness. I wanted to rebuy this bag. This is the exact size that I had. But now it will cost me over $8,300 to get the small size. This one hurts a lot
This one
because
hurts. Yeah.
I wanted to get it back. This one hurts.
The only way for these, like, for us to buy, it would be like Paris, right? Or at least you can get something back, or pre-loved, maybe.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after this.
Yeah, I mean, there is always traveling Paris where you can get some VAT back. So for us, the dilemma in Canada and also the US is that even though you do get VAT back, you still have to pay the taxes and duties when you come back. And I think in the US it's a little bit more moderate. I think your customs, it's like 5%, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
But in Canada, it depends on the customs officer. But usually for luxury items, they know it's a frivolous thing. They will charge you the full amount. So if they're actually nice, they might just charge you tax. So if you're lucky, you get away with just tax. But if you have to be hit by customs duty as well, then that's another 20%. So you're paying potentially 30% on top of, what you're able to, which, arguably you could say is worth it when or not. Like, I mean, it depends on you. Just how bad do you want the item? How is it worth it at that point? Like if it's really hard to get here, then yeah, it's worth it totally. Like if I can bring back a Quota bag, it's totally worth it no matter what the amount is. But it's still debatable whether you should get it overseas or not for like something like this. That's still debatable. If you're Canadian, let me know what you think. For the 22, but the larger size, so the size up, you're paying almost $8,800 for this. Wow. That's crazy.
Sounds crazy.
It's not quite 10 grand yet, but I'm just looking at the number and I'm rounding up in my head. I'm like, it's almost 10 grand. for the bag that a lot of people say looks like a garbage bag. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, let's go to more like actual looking bag, right? Flat bags. Chanel 19, the same one that I have. Wow, it went up a lot. This one is really close to the $10,000 mark. It's $9,200. It's crazy. This is crazy. And then, oh yes, I forgot the trendy CC, which I just sold last year to a lovely subscriber who got it at a much better price. It's now officially you're paying $10,000 for this officially. Insane. So this is all perspective, right? That's why I said like you can look at percentage, you can look at charts. Yes, it's still really like is a heart attack, but until you look at each item that you like, and these are all popular items, and you know how much money you have to fork out, you're like, wow. Last but not least, I think this one is the one in my thumbnail. $14K for the small.
Oh my goodness.
This is almost not quite, but it's almost double how much I paid for mine. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Like I think in a year time it will be double. Like next year.
Wow, 14 now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Like I paid mine quite high, but still, it's definitely not 14. What was mine? Was it 10? I think it was 10. I think I paid it after the price increase. It was 10.
I think I paid mine just under 9 with taxes. So okay, maybe not next year, but like in a year and a half or two, it will be double. Seriously, I feel like it will be in a year and a half. Like if they keep going up 15% at a time, it's actually 18%. This is 18% at a time. It will be. So again, type your questions with question marks. And just wanted to remind you, there is some members live tomorrow and also the following, not following week, but the week after. And if you want to become a member, just go to our channel page, click the join button, and there's 2 levels. But what do we think? Price increase. What's the invisible line?
Oh my gosh. So the invisible line, we talked about this maybe 2 years ago when we first started doing the live, or maybe a year ago when we did this live, and we said that there is this invisible line that we set in our heads. Every time we have a price increase, does it cross that invisible line? Are we willing to pay it? So I think when they had the first bunch of price increases, the invisible line was around, was it like 5? Was it 5? Do you remember? What did we say the last time?
For what though?
Oh, we were talking about it for like micro bags, right? I think that was when we spoke about invisible line. I think 4, maybe 4 or 4. I think 4 is the invisible line for like micro bags.
Yeah.
But what is it for Chanel?
Okay, so I think so it's interesting because we can go back to all the luxury live shows that we've had in the past, and we've talked about the invisible line or threshold that we each have, and everyone's going to be different. I think every time though, we do kind of adapt to the invisible line, and we just make it work, because that's how I've always felt. And I think I've even put out videos where I spoke about bags that I would still get regardless, because what are you going to do? Like, if you're not going to buy pre-love, let's say, or if you don't have access to pre-love that easily, or maybe you're just kind of picky like me, you don't like smells and just old bag vibe, then you have to buy retail. And sometimes you might be after a specific seasonal color, and so for those instances, you don't have a choice but to buy brand new. And retail is still going to be your best bet, because if you go buy resellers, they will have their fees. And so at the end of the day, retail is still the most cheap for what you're trying to get at that time, right? So my invisible line, or at least how I kind of voiced it at the time, is that, okay, yes, the reality is that, yes, the price will go up again, but what can you do? If you really want it, just go and get it and at least be done with it. It depends on how bad you want it, right? If you're starting from no collection, you're starting from scratch, and you're really trying to build your core collection, I almost feel like even the invisible line as of today, it has to be adjusted. Like, you have to adjust to these prices, and you just have to save for it to get it. Now, we've always said also that you have to be more choosy, know what you want, and not just get for the sake of getting, because reselling or having to sell it is not going to be, it's not viable as an option long term. Like, you can sell it here and there. Sometimes you do make mistakes or whatnot, or you change your mind, but it's not something that you want to do all the time, because most likely you're going to lose a lot of money, and it's a lot of work too, and stress. And so I'm going to say the very sort of like unpopular opinion is that the invisible line is the price today for me. Again, like it just got adjusted. Like, if I want it that bad, it is what it is, and I'll just work for it. But it means I'm going to be so picky, because luckily I've started my collection a long time ago, so I don't have to work so hard at getting these bags, because I have what I want already. In fact, I don't really see any other bag that I want other than the 22 that I spoke about so much. How bad do I want it? That's the question. Because if I want it, I'm going to have to buy it at this price. It boils down to this now.
Yep. You said it perfectly. I think the invisible line has adjusted. Every time there's a price increase, we will shout and scream and yell about it and complain about it. But the reality is, if you really like it, you will adjust to that price and make it work. So I think there is still a little bit of a, like, I'm looking at some of the comments, and I agree with Eileen. I think with Chanel, there is this 10K mark. Like, I think I can push myself all the way up. If I'm being really honest, like, if say I'm madly in love with, I still like the Chanel 19. Now it's 9,000. I'm like, what if I really, really want it one day? 9K, can I do it? If I, spend less here, save a little bit more there, it's possible. But if it crosses 10 for non-classic items, I do agree. I think I might be biased though. I might still say, I might just save it for H. That's me speaking today. Let's do this like 2-3 years from now and see what the line moves. But I think 10 is still, it's quite, 10 is like, maybe I'll only save it for classic handbags. But again, like what you said, the invisible line is today. And what's interesting is that because the prices are so high now, we take a step back and we are really, really assessing what we bring in to our collection. And I'm not saying that when the prices were lower, it's still premium pricing, that we were not assessing it. But I feel like those 3 years ago, there was a bit of a buying, sort of like a let's buy and try. Buy and try, don't like, resell, we'll make some money out of it. There was a bit of that kind of cycle happening. You guys can just, correct me, but I feel like a lot of us were trying it out because it was more approachable, accessible, still expensive if you compare it to the other brands, but still it's in reach. And somehow, even if you price it a little higher in the market, you can sell it and make a little profit. So there was a lot of that, trading going on previously. But now that the prices are so high, we buy for ourselves now. We don't think about, we still think whether it'll hold its value, but it's really putting that money into something that oh my God, I don't think I can, do some trading with this anymore. Do I really like this? And this is really going to stay in my collection. And maybe that's the intention of having very high prices. When we buy our H bags, yeah, it's great that I have this high resale value. But truth be told, do I really think I'm going to sell it? Like, it's so hard to get already. It's so freaking expensive already. That feeling of like, oh my God, I'm going to sell it, can't get it back. I think that is happening with Chanel with some of the stuff, because yeah, you can sell it, but you're not going to get your money back. So you're going to think, do I really want it in my collection today? So our habits are changing, how we are treating the bags that we're bringing in.
I agree 100% what you said. I like how you said trading, like a little bit of trading was happening back then. And I can totally relate, because and I'm just going to use my own examples and experience, when the minis at the time, which used to be my favorite bag to get, if I could get one, because the minis are still very hard to get. They were kind of harder to get, I think, even at the time. When the minis were still around the $5,000 mark before tax, it felt accessible. It was expensive, yes, but it felt like at least I'm getting a classic. Like, I'm getting a classic. I feel like they are worth the investment. And even if I'm not sure about the print at the time, like I got the houndstooth, I got the, that rose gold one, that, those were not typically the ones that I would jump at normally, but I liked it enough that I asked, I could, and I was able to get it. It wasn't happening all the time. There were many times, many times where I asked and I couldn't get. And so when I could get it, yeah, of course I'm going to get it. But I think this sort of like ability at the time, at least, to experiment with bags like this is very, very, like, I don't even think of it that way at all. Like, not that I really thought of it that way, but it felt less of a risk for sure. Now I feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess with having a bag that I'm gonna regret and change my mind on, because I just know how hard and painful it is to sell anything. And selling something is like trying to rectify a mistake, right? So I totally agree with that at least just a few years ago, right, it still felt possible to kind of like, sometimes when you buy, you don't know for sure if it will work out, but if it does, great. If it doesn't, then it's still okay. Now it's just the prices are just at this, yes, we have invisible lines that we do adjust, yes, but these are not the kind of invisible lines that I want to gamble on. It just feels like gambling with our money at this point. And I have to agree with Eileen as well, where I would also personally, maybe this is just a thing, I would also agree that 10K is probably the invisible line, where when a Chanel bag crosses that line, I'd rather just save it and spend it elsewhere. H first, for example, right? And so, which is why for me, like, the 22 bag, which is really literally the only bag that I'm kind of wanting for my collection, for example, I'm still debating. Like, I'm like, oh, it's so close to the 10 mark, but it's still under, I guess. So let's see how I feel. Like, like I just feel this tug. Like, oh, do I want it bad enough? Maybe not. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, I really want it. So it's a
I'm
really
gonna pull a comment. So okay, so
Mm.
to finish this question, what's your invisible line? I think it, like you said, you said it right. It is what it is today. Don't even look back in the past, but be
Yeah.
very careful. Like, are you okay with that line? Like, new line, is it out of reach? Like you buy a house which costs $500,000-$600,000. Is it out of reach? Obviously, but you will make it work, right? Either you save longer, you take a loan, you make it work. So this is not a house. You only need a bag on top of your head. But if you really love that item, you will make it work. So it's just that, can you catch up by the time you save? Can you catch up to the next price increase? So that maybe that's another topic. But it's always out of reach, but you'll make it work. You're like, okay, it's that goal post that if you want it, you'll go and get it. So let me pull this one. Rebecca's good point. I think the line depends on what you have in your collection. Spot on. I already have Chanel classics, so my invisible line was much lower than it would be for a person who is still collecting. Yeah, exactly. So if I always see on Instagram, like before these price increases, but I used to see people with a rainbow collection of Chanel classic flaps. But nowadays you don't see this. I'm not on IG looking at people sharing their rainbow collection, but it's more and more rare. 4 or 5 years ago, a rainbow, like every season, every color, 2-3 bags, and it was just like, wow. So great, they collected it then. But for us to collect that today, it's hard. It's harder, and it's just tougher, because the invisible line for that person who was collecting the rainbow today is maybe you can get 2 colors of the rainbow, maybe. Okay, let me see.
It's a perfect way to put it. Invisible line depends on your collection. Of course it does. And it also depends on what you can afford, I suppose. Obviously, we're speaking strictly very, very frivolous things that you don't need. So we are so aware of that. But even then, everyone's sort of like threshold will also be what they're used to, I guess, owning, right? Like for me, before I got into Chanel, like Chanel was just like this holy grail status, and I couldn't imagine buying Chanel because it's so expensive. But it's all relative, right? If you're not quite there yet, then you wouldn't even be looking at Chanel items.
Yeah. I like this point though. Let me pull one from Miles. I won't mind paying that amount for Chanel classic flap if they start using 24K gold again on hardware and no quality issues. It's 24K gold plated though. It's not like really hard gold, but okay. Definitely better.
I think as long as it's solid gold plated, for example, even if it's 10K gold plated, at least you have some like gold plating, and that makes it feel better. I don't know if it's necessarily going to change my mind, for example, but I do agree with the quality, just because. So far I haven't experienced any quality on hardware for my bags, so that's great. Quality on the bags itself, like the leather, yes, I have. So I have to agree with the quality aspect for sure.
All right.
So let's talk about this. Kat, are you still gonna shop at Chanel anymore?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Why? Okay, so I mean, I think in also lies. We always said that, shh, I love my H, but their bags, they're not the most. I mean, I love my Birkin and I love my Kelly, blah 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 blah, and all of that. But they're not the most fashion forward bags, right? The great quality, okay, the great quality, handmade, high craftsmanship. But if you're looking for a fun bag, they don't really have it, unfortunately, because it's such a serious bag. The most fun bag that I've seen so far, if you're talking about runway, some from fur, feathers coming out, which you'll never get anyway. You will never be able to be offered or see it in real life for most of us mere mortals. And I think the one that is the most available for us mere models is the latest Picotin, the one with the
Cargo?
It's not the cargo. The Picotin with the Shandong on it. It's like the new Picotin.
There's one with
Anyway,
this.
that's like the
Oh,
most.
that bag is a different name though. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, even their most fun bags are not the most fun. So Chanel fulfills a gap for Hermes. They're that fashion brand. They have fun bags. They have micro bags, which you and I, we love so much. Are you going to see that in Hermes? Unfortunately, no. They're not going to do things like that because their focus is different, right? Their focus is craftsmanship, good quality, dot, 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 dot. But if you're looking for something that elevates your look, that is that, different, that styling element, yeah, sorry, hey, you just don't do it, okay?
Okay.
You don't do it.
I agree partially because I know exactly what you mean. So I have to agree with you. I'm not disagreeing.
Mm.
But I have to also maybe say that I think it's totally possible to style all in Hermes and totally look so good and hip and even cool. The issue I have with Hermes is that nothing is available. Like, I
That
mean,
too.
I'm just saying, like they have fun bags, like the cargos, like the stuff that you see on the runway, which you also see on influencers when they go to the fashion shows, because they lend it to them, right? But and then they dress really cool. Like I just saw Tamara, she was in this. Oh my gosh, the new tank top from the new season, and then also in these huge cargo pants. Oh, so cool! My goodness. But well, okay, they're not available yet. Yeah, you can argue that. But even when they're available in store, there's like a few in your size, they get sold out right away. So nothing is ever available. So, not saying that Chanel things are always available. They're not either. They're also quite exclusive and hard to get. But it feels more accessible in a way. Like there's a little bit more that you can play with just because they just do so many. They just
Yeah.
like bags, right? Like seasonal bags. They do so many colors at once. They do so many styles at once. They have a bit more stock at once. Um, and I do have to agree with everything you said, which is in general, Chanel is just so much more playful, more fashion, and just like, you could definitely have way more fun if you were to like just play with Chanel wardrobe and Chanel collection. So agree, but also for me, the main issue is that Hermes, as much as I love it, every time you want to get something, even something that is not even that cool, right? It's just not available. It's not available.
So the answer to this, are we still shopping in Chanel? I think definitely, because it's Chanel. So it's just, where do we stop, right? Where do,
Mhm.
or where do you divert your attention to? Maybe I'll buy an SLG here and there, right? I'll still buy that. Maybe the particular season there is this unbelievable, gorgeous looking pair of earrings that nowhere else you can get. There's no Bottega that's selling it. There's no Fendi that's selling that. It's just, oh my God, so gorgeous.
I
What are you gonna
agree.
do? Just buy it, right? If you like it. So I think the answer is yes. I don't think you'll ever scrape it out from your I mean, if you've always been liking Chanel, I don't think you would suddenly just write them off just because they have these price increases. It's just that you'll adjust. So I think for me, I still shop. I still like to look at their stuff.
Yeah. Agree 100%. So when we first sort of thought about today's topic, and yes, we had to switch to topic because this is fresh. Um, in my head at the time, right, I was thinking, oh, I'm so mad. Like, I still really want, like, again, giving my own example, I still really wanted the 22. Now I'm like, oh, now I'm mad. Like, it just happened, and I'm not gonna shop at Chanel anymore, right? That's what I told myself. But the reality is, it's not the case. I will always be shopping at Chanel, but it doesn't mean that I'll be buying as frequently. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be the type that will walk in like I used to and be just browsing, because that's what I used to do. I feel like nowadays, even when I just go in to browse and look around, just because I love the brand, there's also less to look around too. Like, everything
Mm,
I see that has been left over in the store, is just whatever other people didn't want. So it just felt like slim pickings. But I think this question, are we still shopping at Chanel anymore, will always, I feel, will always still be like a yes, but
mm,
and this applies to even Hermes, because yes, we're talking about Chanel today because Chanel just had a huge price increase. Hermes also just did. And Hermes price increase this year was tremendous as
big.
well. So
Yeah.
I also felt kind of that way with Hermes. In my heart, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still working towards this, building my collection, and this huge price increase just happened. I'm mad at it. What can you do, right? So I have to keep going. And so it's a matter of like, well, you got to be even more savvy and more like, just you just got to be more smart about it, and really just buy what's going to really add to your collection. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Let's ask the audience. The audience
mm,
didn't answer. Are you still shopping at Chanel? I mean, think a little bit more long term, not just like, oh my gosh, now, like now, go buy everything. No. Think a little bit like, if you consider your luxury collection and where you are today, would you still shop at Chanel?
and what would you buy? Like,
Yeah,
what
and
would
what
you
would you
still
buy?
consider to be, it's okay to still buy those things? Because, maybe, who knows, maybe the Chanel Jumbo has sailed the boat. Maybe, right?
Mm,
For many of you, because we just saw the price for the Chanel Small Classic. The Jumbo is a lot more. I mean, I think the Jumbo is like 16 or something. I don't know.
yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
so yes, some things might have sailed the ship, but what would you still consider okay to buy? Like, if you had to buy, right? But I want to just pull in a couple more comments before I move on to the next point, because I mean, it's an interesting view. According to some websites, Chris Tan, one of the reasons they intentionally make it more expensive is to make people feel more special and that their belongings are more exclusive, like that you belong to an exclusive circle.
Yeah, maybe there is some psychology in that. Because if I'm walking in the mall and then I see somebody carrying a Chanel bag, I'll be like, ooh, Chanel. Because you love bags. I love bags. So I will look. I won't, I mean, I'll do that for all bags, but there is something about, looking at somebody's Chanel bag, like, oh, new season, bag with the pearls. There is definitely a little bit of this exclusive circle, maybe.
Uh, I agree with what you said. Again, I feel like this will only maybe apply to people who don't know what they know, don't know what they don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Like it will apply to my mom, for example, and I'm not trying to say anything. It's not bad or anything, but it's just like she doesn't buy these things. So for her, every time she sees my Chanel bag or my Hermes bag, she'd be like, oh, like I gotta be careful, because to them it's like this, wow, like not unreachable, but like it's just like, whoa, okay, I gotta be careful. It's like it's so exclusive maybe to them. But for someone who's already in it, you and me, and many of the people here watching, it's just gonna make them more mad, I think. I don't know. Like, do I actually feel more happy that my things increased in value? Yes, but I'm never gonna resell it if I'm really gonna use it. Like if it's part of my collection, part of my core collection, I'm not gonna sell it. Like, so it's a mute point in a way, but I'm not unhappy that it went up in value, of course. But at the same time, I know that I'm gonna be suffering if I want to buy something new, because that's the reality. So I'm actually more mad at it, but what can you do? It's like sort of this like, oh, okay, inflation. But this is more than inflation. This is like several inflations at a time, and you can't do anything about it. Because if you want it, you still gotta go and get it, but just pay way more every time, right? And so I think it only works for a portion of people, not everyone. It wouldn't work for people who already are in it and know about it. So I don't know. I'm not sure how to comment about like what they think the reason is to intentionally make people feel special. I don't know if it makes me feel that special. You know what I mean?
Maybe for us who are already buying it, we are out of we shouldn't be considered in the equation. Say if you're somebody starting out, like
Okay.
starting to buy Chanel, and for them this is the new price point, and when they get it, it's like it's really special, right? Because it's like, oh my gosh, I worked so hard for it, finally got it. And this is the new crowd, right? The
I
20s,
see. Okay.
the teens, that they feel like, oh my gosh, I finally got this bag that these 40, 50-year-old ladies got. Like, how did they get? I want it. So I maybe then that's one psyche. But also, because it's so hard to get, doesn't this sound like an age? Doesn't this sound like Hermes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hard to get. How do you get it? How do I get an essay? How do I get that classic flat? Da 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 da. And it's the new crowd. It's the new crowd that never got into the Chanel but are now getting into Chanel, and they are hearing from their new essays are like, you want a classic flat? Oh, it's never available. You cannot get it. You've got to buy other things here. It sounds like a change, and maybe it will be this group that one day they'll go, I got a classic flap. Oh my god, how did you get a classic flap? Whereas for us, we're like, we got it like years ago. Maybe. Who knows? Revisit in 20 years and we'll see.
This is a good one. I got my trendy CC back then, 48,000. Sorry, I said 1,000, 48,000, 4,800. That's like how I work now. My brain is like in the thousands instead of hundreds. It was expensive, but now it seems so cheap. I agree, because I think I got mine when the retail was still under 7,000. And I already thought it was expensive at the time. Like the retail before tax was under 7,000, but I was like, oh, if I don't get it now, it'll be never. And now it's just a whole other level. I mean, it's just a couple years later. It's only a couple years, but yeah, yours is so cheap.
I think I got mine when I sold mine. I think it was like 5, 6, just
Wow.
under 6. Yeah.
Wow. Who is this? Ridiculous, priced out already. Yeah, so yeah, basically Vivi. And I don't know for how many of you are you still shopping at Chanel anymore?
Apparently they are. So let me just pull some out. Okay, June is saying, I may buy some shoes.
Okay,
Shoe
yeah, that's
gallery
good.
like, yes, shoes, tweed, love the 22. I like the newer styles than the classic. Viv P
Ah,
saying, yeah, maybe shoes, seasonal bag that I really like. 22 mini, top handle. Rana
oh,
saying, I'll get some SLGs, but not bags. Lainey is saying, I will probably still shop at Chanel.
mm-hmm.
I have a mini flap and trendy CC on my list. I do like their sneakers, but I feel if I want a classic flap, I'll have to go with a pre-love and vintage route. Jocelyn's also saying, of course, Chanel has the best looking bags of all time. Different colors and leather, but of course, I'll be more selective and put more thought before I buy. We're saying, I won't pay 15K for a classic flat, but I do want a classic 22 mini. And yes, for shoes and SLGs. Linda's also saying, maybe something I really, really like, but I don't think so. I think because Chanel has many styles that don't suit me, I like the Gabrielle as it's more cool looking.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it is discontinued. Actually, I
It's
don't know if
not.
it's
You can still
discontinued.
buy
It's
it.
not. It's just a rumor. I've seen so many new ones. Bluff, bluff.
They still sell the mini one, like the size that I have. They still sell it. That's if you
Yeah.
want to get the larger size, those ones are a little harder to get. They don't order as many of those. But my size, they still get it in store, fresh every season.
Every season, there's coming out. Yep. Yes, I've been loving my Gabrielle even more lately than the 22, just more fashionable. Ah, Joe is here. Yeah, I think most of you are still buying, you see? Okay, here we go.
So
Joe's like,
I
I'm
love
still
that
wanting Chanel shoes,
because
fashion jewelry.
that's exactly how we feel. Because I don't think you can ever really stop. I feel like even with Hermes is so like a whole other level of crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy that I mean, we say things like, "Oh, I'm gonna like buy whatever, like I'm gonna get the bag and then get out." But the reality is, I think even with Hermes, we're still gonna keep popping in the store and buy the things here and there. And same with Chanel, like they're still worth looking at, and there's still always gonna be cute stuff. And speaking of the 22 mini, I just want to ask the crowd here. How many of you are actually trying to get it? I tried to ask, but I was told it was sold out. So I'm like,
What? It's not
sad.
even out yet.
I actually I don't know. I really liked it when I first saw the runway, and then when I got asked this last week, I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I gotta think about it. Is it gonna add to my collection?" And then this week, I'm like, "Ah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try getting it." But no, it's already sold out.
Wow. Okay, let me pull this one. Last one before we move to the next, right? Jennifer saying, I just discovered Chanel bags last year. I've been buying contemporary bags for 20 over years, got into luxury last year, got the classic flap at last year's price. Price stung, but no regrets. I think that is how it is, right? We were just saying that, the price will keep going up. And then if you make up your mind, you'll be like, fine, I'll just do it.
I think in these scenarios where you're either like quite new in the game, we'll call it the game now. It does make you feel better if the price did increase, but you got your thing already, like you just beat it, or maybe you bit the bullet because you really want it, you got it, saved up for it, you worked hard for it. It does make you feel better after the price increase, like after. So there is for sure psychology behind these marketing things and why they have to make it such a because I do believe that there is inflation, like normal inflation in the material, in the labor, because everything is getting more expensive. So I do agree that there is a portion of it that goes towards making these things and the I don't know,
Paying
even the marketing
salaries.
costs a lot of money. But at the same time, I feel like it's overinflated because of the intangible aspect about it, that psychology behind it that they do it. So maybe I have to agree with that at the same time.
Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so let me pull this. Joe overjoyed. I'm just keeping my classic flap for my daughter. Because when she's 21, it'll probably gonna be
Yeah,
30,000 K. Keeping the
yeah.
CF as an investment for her. Absolutely. I am hanging on to dear life with my classic flap, the one and only that I bought was it last year? Was it last year? I think it was last year.
I think it was last year. Yeah, we already forgot, right? Like
I don't know when it was, but anyway,
so many months
it was
ago.
what, just under 10. It was 10, 10, 11, 10, just under 11, I think. Like I don't have a kid, but I know my niece would be so happy. So I'm keeping it for her. That's it. That's your gift, okay?
Well, regardless of whether you keep it for someone, you know, when they get older, it's also your own gift to yourself, because you know you're
Yeah.
gonna own these things until, like, you're gonna use it until you can't use it anymore, which there's gonna be a good 30, however many
Wow.
years that's gonna be, you
Forever.
know, in your possession, that you're gonna be enjoying for the rest of your life. So I see it as, and this is interesting because I just released a video last week, right? Oh no, it was this week. I just released my what I sold, everything I sold, and I got a few questions surrounding like, oh, well, actually, they were comments. They were like, oh yeah, people that say that these luxury things are investment is like yes, which yes and no, because it is an investment if you keep for a long time. Like we're not talking a year or two. We're talking long term, 10 plus years. But not in the sense that, you know, like that you can resell, and well, yes, in 10 years time you can resell and probably make a profit, because many price increases after, right? But at the same time, it's your own, like what you own and that you can enjoy. That's the investment, your own investment for yourself, like for your own enjoyment. So I still feel like they are in a way, but not in the same traditional term of investment, right? Like if you're looking for traditional term where you can just sort of like do a flip, it's not going to be like that. That's really hard.
Long term, like
Yeah.
something that you have forever and ever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so crazy now.
Which brings us to this last point. What is still worth it for us? So we're probably going to have a lot of overlap, but I'm going to let Kat say.
Okay,
What
why
she
don't we
thinks
start?
is
I
still
think
worth
we
it.
have one overlap, is it?
There are many overlaps. Yeah, many, but
Okay, I'll start off the first one, which you thought it was quite surprising, but I'll say, I think the walk is still okay to buy. Yeah, the Chanel classic black walk, and I say this because today's your habit of carrying handbags, or at least for me, has changed. 4 or 5 years ago, when I talked about walk, it was the most ridiculous thing to buy ever. Because why would you buy a walk when you can buy a proper handbag? Because you will put your phone, your huge wallet. But today, no, you don't even need a wallet anymore. Your phone is everything. So I think the walk is still worth getting today at today's prices, because can't go back. So it's still worth getting. They have changed the walk from a button to a magnetic closure. Brilliant change. They have done it long time ago. I don't know why it took them donkey years to do that. But yes, the walk is still worth buying.
Okay, yeah, no, I have to agree with you now. And I'm not sure if it's me, but Kat, you're cutting up a little bit. So I don't
Really?
know.
Okay.
So I don't know if the audience thinks so, or is it just my own connection viewing you? So I'm just telling you that. So since you started with the walk, I'm gonna continue on with like bags first, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. So despite the classic mini, even though they're not classics, they're seasonal bags, despite the minis costing after tax $7,000, I'm gonna say it's still worth looking into getting one, only if you don't have one yet. Like if you're like starting your collection, for example, and you want your first something that resembles a classic flap, And because minis, I find that minis are very user friendly. Like I find that I can use my minis more often than a classic lap. So I will still say that the minis, if you're going for your like the exact specs that you want, the exact color, right? You wait for the right season, then I still think that it's worth getting. It's gonna cost a lot, but you might as well bite the bullet when you can bite the bullet. So of course, only get it if you're able to afford it. But yeah, it's really it's really getting up there. But like I think currently the invisible line has shifted, and it's still okay. Like I don't know if it's at 9,000, maybe I'll change my mind. But like right now, with taxes 7K, I'm like it's tight, but it's still okay. Like get it if you have to.
Yeah. I didn't want to pick the rectangular, but I can, yeah, you know, it is definitely, whether a mini, rectangular, or square, either or, right?
Yeah.
It's still a proper bag. Still a proper bag.
Yeah.
Is it worth, would I still buy it? Okay. Let me think, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay, so I'm trying to set a scenario where I'll bite the bullet and just get it. Okay, so the scenario is if they came out with the perfect green caviar top handle mini rectangular, I die. I buy it.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna cost
I
you
buy it. Sorry, I'll do
8K,
it.
but yes, because the
Should be
top
my
handle.
foot home.
But yeah, I bet you if they start doing caviar all of a sudden, people are gonna be flocking in, lining up, asking their answers like, please just sell one to me.
Just sell it to me. Sell it to me. I'll deal with the price increase later.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, it's all relative, right? Because the caviar top handle has been reselling for more than the current retail price. So it's arguable that, you know, like that getting retail sometimes is still your cheapest option despite all the increases so far. And so it is what it is. They are
Okay, for
getting very
example,
exclusive.
this season, I almost, okay, honestly, I almost bought the green love, but like the love log, because I actually went into the store. I was like, oh my god, this is the perfect green, and it was the mini square, a little bigger, and it was caviar. The only thing was, I think, was the strap that was not. I was like, oh, and it's a pretty good price, six something. Oh my god. I mean, what happened to no buy, right? So anyway, yeah, I think you if it is a price that is not, I don't know what crazy, but it's you can swallow somehow. You still can take a gulp. You're like this, and it's just the perfect bag. We'll do it. So
Yeah.
So like you said, the mini rectangular. I know it's 7,000, but if they came out with caviar again, I bet everyone here who likes caviar, all of you will be lining up outside. Okay. I see. Look at them. Look at them pulling off a cake. If they brought back caviar,
break the bank. It's so true. Yeah. And,
was like,
and
yeah,
that is also the psychology behind it. Like they make something discontinued, all of a sudden everyone wants it, even at the current price. It's so easy. Like they just have to pull one like that. And I'm sure, like, mark my words, I'm sure they will make it again. But who knows how long you have to wait, right? Because they discontinued officially the mini and caviar after I got my red one. And the red one was from 2018.
They'll bring it back. Don't worry.
They
will bring it. And it's not that they don't make caviar, right? Because they do make it on the
They
classic
do.
flat.
Just seasonal bags.
They just wait. I think maybe they're adjusting the mini price up to say something pretty good, like 8 or 9, okay? Because now the 8 or 9, because now you have the classic flap small, which is 13. I'm talking about Singapore dollars. So once the mini hits around the 8 or 9 mark, I bet you the caviar will come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, because it's like, like the mini Lindy's, right? They're like 8, 9, 10,000 compared to the next size up, which is 26. People are like, oh, I don't want 26. I'll get the mini because it's cuter. Prediction on the Luxury Live show. The caviars are coming back.
It will be. Just
be.
wait a few more years after, like I said, like even with the small classic flap, right? I said it will be double of how much I bought in like a couple years or year and a half. Maybe by then, that's when the minis will be kind of closer to the $9,000 mark. Like with the top handle one, I'm pretty sure it will be
9980. $20
then
for
they'll
taxi
do.
ride
Oh yeah,
home.
we'll give you caviar. There you go. We're gonna have to spend almost 10K on it. Oh god.
Oh my.
Which, you know what? It is sort of like, I do wonder too, like, they keep doing these big price increases, and it's also a way to combat reselling, because if you're already gonna buy the reseller price currently, right? Which is going to be their prices in a year or two, right? Because usually resellers will, and I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. It is what it is. But usually resellers will tag on like 10% for the normal stuff, and if it's a really popular item, it'll be more than that, right? It might be a fixed amount. I don't know. Like it could be up to 20% more. Then the fashion house doesn't profit from that. So by doing more and more frequent of these price increases, it actually makes people less want to buy from resellers, because it doesn't make any sense at these prices already, and then you're tagging on another fee on top of it. So I see it also from both ends, right? Like, it sucks for normal consumers, but there is a market for reselling, and then the house themselves wants to keep things exclusive, special. Call it special.
I mean, if you're gonna pay the reseller 10% more, if I'm the luxury, I'm like, pay me, pay me the 10%.
Yeah.
So I'll up the price 10%.
Yeah, because the fashion house still has to assume all the costs, right? All the costs with making things, marketing things, having their stores up and everything. So they're the ones taking the risk, even though there's not much risk really for Chanel. But I'm just saying, right? Like, as a business, you always take on the risk. And so as someone reselling the things, their only risk is to buy and to hold on to the item until they sell. So it's still a risk. It's still a business, but like, there's no inherent risk in producing the item. So in a way, the job is easier and you still can make a living out of it. So, I mean, it is what it is, and it's not bad or good or anything. It's just what it is. And I'm sure the fashion houses wants to like get more of a hold onto that, right? So trying to control it a little bit via these things. Okay, so the next thing I think it would be, so not bags, right? But seasonal. Oh, actually, yes, bags. Some seasonal bags are still worth it. I feel like, yeah, the classic flap. I have to say, I'm sorry, for me anyway, just because I already have one. I really feel like the boat has sailed. Like, the retail price is just insane. I would rather spend that on a Quota bag, even though Quota bags are not easy to get, right? You have to spend 2-3 times that amount just to get a Quota bag. So I'm not saying that they're equal or that it's better. It's just that I just don't have that much money, so I can't be spending that on a classic flop and also pre-spend and a Quota bag. Like, this just not possible. So seasonal bags, okay, like some of them are still okay. And then the fun one this season with the Chanel 22, where everyone's drooling, and I saw some comments, a lot of you are trying to get it as well. Those, they're expensive, yes, still, but when you find the fun bag that you want that will complete your collection or that will add to your collection, then they're worth it.
I don't know. Classic flap is a totally different ball game right now.
Yeah.
It's like, say they come out with a beautiful gray,
Yeah.
like the perfect gray something in caviar with
Oh, you mean
champagne.
mine?
Yeah, or maybe yours. Like they make it again, but it's even more like fantastic. Like somehow
Okay.
maybe the shade is just slightly more cool. I don't know. Whatever.
Like with the edge stitching like yours.
Ooh, all that,
Yeah.
or and then maybe the hardware is, some even better champagne gold. I don't know,
Like maybe
whatever they
they
do
added
with it.
heart charms or I don't know, or
Oh, they
heart
had
little details.
they tweak it just a little bit, right?
Mm.
Or they stamp it inside, like limited edition 2023. They put a
Oh,
little
yeah, yeah,
stamping
yeah,
on the
yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
I tell you, you buy it. Like if you're a gray person, you buy it. So it's just a different ball game. I think we don't even want to touch the Chanel. It's one of those maybe um heirloom bags that you will buy for yourself, if they
Yeah.
do come out because of the prices now. Yeah, I agree. Seasonal bags, they still are Chanel priced approachable. And if you like it, go do it. I didn't pick any more bags after walk, but I agree with a lot of people that SLGs would still be okay in the Chanel world because you will use them. Okay, card holders are great. Wallets, I think it would be specific, like certain wallets, because you really still need a large wallet, right? But if you still use like notes and all, and you prefer wallet, I think Chanel wallets are really good. Like they last. Their caviar
Mhm.
is a tank of a leather. So I would say SLGs are still acceptable
Yeah.
and okay to buy.
I 100% agree, especially with SLGs. Personally, I only need one. Like I need one card holder. I need maybe a coin and a key holder and then maybe a pouch. But
Yeah.
I'm using those all the time, like every day, right? So they are worth it. Even though they are more expensive now, right? For a card holder, you're paying 700 now, but you will always use it. And it will last a long time. Like a
Yeah.
long,
They
long, 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 long time. I even have a backup and I haven't even used it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm still using the one that I'm using and it still looks brand new to me. So the backup will be like for 20 years later. Literally, it will not be used for a long time. So maybe I just have to rotate it. Um, but yeah, they are really, really great. And so to add to that, I'm gonna switch and say another category, and I think we both agree, fine jewelry. So worth
Mm.
it. Well, okay, I guess it depends what you're getting, but like their basics, the basic pieces, like the Cocoa Crush
Oh,
ring.
gosh.
I really like their new line of Cocoa Crush as well. Like there's this beautiful pendant, like I think it's like a little roll, like a little cute little Cocoa Crush pendant. They have new necklace, bracelets now. I think those are still worth it. And of course, yeah, you're buying into the brand, but it's just like, adding to the mix, right? If you already have been collecting, you just add to the stack. I think their fine jewelry is still very reasonable. And I don't think their fine jewelry increases at the same rate as their fashion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So fine jewelry. As
Yep,
opposed
I
to their
agree.
costume jewelry. Oh my God. The costume
Yeah,
jewelry is
exactly.
horrendously expensive. And I just don't even understand how, like that, I really don't understand how, like, the price is not justifiable for like some metals and crystals, glass, plastic, I don't know, acrylic, because I love them. Like, trust me, guys, I love my costume jewelry. They're so fun. But, they're not forever. Unlike fine jewelry, they really sometimes even wear and tear when they're in the box in storage.
Yeah. Fine jewelry. I mean, you don't have to get like all. I mean, some of them are really ridiculously expensive, like the ones with diamonds and all that. But just the basic maybe with some of diamonds, but the core collection that they have, right? The Coco Crush mini ring, the small ring, even the large ring. Actually, they're so beautiful, and you don't really buy like a lot of it. It's just
Yeah.
one or two pieces. Treat them like the classic flat, except that it's more approachable.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, here. Oh, hey, Jacqueline saying, hey, Jacqueline. Okay,
Hi,
yes,
babe.
on the fine jewelry. Love my camellia
Yeah.
earrings and my Coco Crush ring. Yeah, the earrings are so good. What's on my wish list? There was a question, I think, but we can come back to it.
I saw a question, but it's not really related. This sweater, I saw this question. I don't remember which video. Maybe I'll find it and link it. But I actually got this from one of my Farfetch collaboration. So the brand for this is APC. And I bought two of these sweaters. I bought this color and I bought a navy with white stripes. And I really like it because it's a soft. It's sort of like a crop 3/4 sleeve. It's a soft wool cotton blend. You must have missed my haul, one of my like Farfetch haul, but I bought it from there, and I really like this brand now because it's I find they do really. It's a French brand also, and they do really good sort of like classics because this is sort of like that striped look, right? It's like classic, simple, good quality clothing. Really, really nice. Actually, when I bought this and then my husband saw it, he's like, "Oh, APC." I'm like, "I didn't know you knew this brand." Well, apparently he knows this brand too. But he's more into the shoe and like sometimes they have collabs with different brands. So I think one time they had a APC collab. So that's why he knows it.
Yeah, I think fine jewelry. Yeah, fine jewelry. The Coco Crush line is one of my best purchases ever.
Right.
Like it's so. I have it on my like little my Hermes tray, and I'll be like, "Ooh, Coco Crush!" It's just it goes with everything that I stack my rings with.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Like I only bought one Chanel fine jewelry, and every time I think about, because I have been shopping for fine jewelry lately, right? This one might be being my latest, but I was looking for rings for this finger, and then sometimes I think about maybe like switching this ring too, but I can't. It's still the most comfortable ever
It's
ring.
comfortable.
So
Yeah, it's really
comfortable.
comfy.
Yeah, and it looks good. Like there's really no need to change something that's. There's no need to change something that's not broken. So I feel like if anything, I might just add and stack to it, if anything, right?
Mhm.
But it's great. It's such a great ring. Very good price range still. So I mean, it costs less than some of their costume jewelry. I'm sorry, but the
Yeah,
costume
their
jewelry is
costume
insane.
jewelry has just gotten out of hand.
Yeah, I was showing
It
Kat. I was just showing Kat there's a pair of earrings on their website that I'm like, I really like it. But after I saw the price, I'm like, there's no way.
yeah, you can
It
get
was
fine jewelry for that price.
1,600 euro. I'm like, are you serious?
For plastic.
It was I think it was metal and then there might be some leather. I think it's leather
Yeah, I think
that
it's
is
leather, like
attached
a
to it.
twine, right? Yeah. No, sorry, like a flat bar.
Yeah, it's nice, but and it's different from what I have, but it's just like, are you kidding me? Like I'm not gonna spend 1,600 euros, probably what 20, I don't know, 2,300, 2,400 after tax here. So it's like, no way. I'd rather buy another Coco Crush ring. It'll be less
Yes.
than that. Um,
That's the last one.
okay, so I also added, there's more stuff. I also added that I feel like they're so worth it. And everyone also said the same thing, shoes. So not all the shoes for me though. I am particularly a fan of Chanel shoes in the sneakers and the rain boots. Totally recommend both of them. They, for me though, sneakers with other brands, I've had less luck. For some reason, they've not really been working for me. For Chanel, okay, I did sell one pair, but that one because I got the wrong size. But for Chanel sneakers, I really feel that they're comfortable. They have a good bounce. They have a good sort of like foot support. They're always cute. And so for me, it's a no-brainer, the shoes.
Yeah. I think I've got 2 pairs of Chanel shoes. One, which is my dad sandals, which I love. And I've got the same pair that you have, but in black, the sneakers.
Right.
They're not the most comfortable for me, maybe because it's a longer profile.
Right.
But I've heard, good things about Chanel's ballerina flats. Yeah, certain ones, not all of them. I think the one in lambskin, they're more comfortable, and a lot of people just really enjoy it. Maybe the rounder front makes it comfortable. I don't have a pair, but based on friends who have them, they say that the price is still approachable and you get a lot of wear out of it. It looks great for going out, for work. They want it for traveling as well. So I think those would still be okay to purchase from Chanel shoes, ballerina flats.
Right. Did you have more? Because I have...
No, that's it. I've got these 3.
Okay. I have one more. So I wrote down for ready to wear, but very, very specifically for their ready to wear, I think one category of items that's always looks so reasonable, even compared to other brands, are their denim. So denim jeans, which you have, denim shorts, even some of their denim jackets are really well priced compared to like just overall all the brands. So I feel like their denim ready to wear is quite worth it to look at. Not that is that easy, because they're always sold out first, because they're the most affordable ready to wear, and they're always cute. They always make it cute. So yeah, those are the 4 things that I wrote down that I feel like are still worth it for today's pricing.
Yeah.
But I've never had luck with the because last season they had the cute like the tiny little CC on the whole jeans. You also liked them, but I wanted the pair that was more tapered. Yeah, they're always sold out, because I think they only order like for our size, for every size, they only order like a couple or maybe one. So it's really hard to get. And I actually really like.
I didn't even see those in store because they
I
were
saw
so popular.
I actually saw the black denim, but it was the what's the word,
Straight
the baggy
cut
one, which I didn't want. So yeah, but I thought they were so cute, the blue ones. Okay, I found a question from Selena. Hi, Amy Cat. Do you reach for your H Quota bags more than your Chanel Classic flap? Would you sell your Classic flap for another Quota bag? I think I already know the answer, but I'll let you go first.
Do I reach for my H Quota bags more than my Chanel Classic flap? Yeah, the answer is yes. I do. I mean, I have my Chanel Classic flap small, and I don't really use it very much. I've used it a few times. In fact, tonight I'm going out for dinner, so I might use it. But then again, do I want to use that or use my Hermes bags? I don't know. I feel like definitely I'm more partial to my H bags. But to your second point, would I sell my Classic flap for another Quota bag? This is going to be really hard. Like I honestly don't think I will, because I don't have many. I've only got one.
Oh, I don't think you should ever sell your Classic black. Ever.
I think I
remember
need to
your niece.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember my niece who will watch my videos sometimes. She'll be like, oh, you promised. You promised. No, but in all seriousness, it's if I had 2 Classic flaps, then it's likely. A little bit like what happened to my Jumbo, because I had a Jumbo Classic flap. I wasn't using it. Then I got this small.
Right.
I didn't see they're the identical anyway, just one larger than the other. So now that I only have this one, I think it's just gonna be really, I will really, really, really need to think about it to let it go for a Quota bag. I'll just
It
have to
must be a
save
very
and pay
desperate
for the Quota
measures if that
bag.
happens. Yeah. So for me, I happen to reach for my H Quota bags more often than my classic flap, only because I dress by the look. So my everyday casual look works less with my classic flap, which also is kind of that fairy tale gray color. So it really is so specific to when I'm more like in a summery outfit and in a lighter outfit, perhaps. And so it doesn't really work with my everyday usual attire, which is, I don't want to say it's casual, but it's just like, it's less, it works less with my usual daily outfit. So in contrast, a black Birkin or a black Kelly is so much easier to style, believe it or not. It's so much more like an everyday bag. Yes, they're dressy and kind of serious also at the same time, but I think maybe because of the color too, for me anyway. And uh, again, depending on where you live, because like if I live where Kat lives, then a black bag is so much harder to style. My classic flap in gray might be easier to style there. But because I live here and it's gloomy, it's rainy, it's snowing, it's actually so much easier to wear a black bag any day, almost every day, right? So for me, I end up wearing my Quota bags more. And I want to wear them more because they are kind of like my prized possession. I want to get rid, like I want to wear them. And I like that I'm wearing them more. So to answer your second question, would I ever sell it? That is a hard no, though. Because for me, whenever I sell something, I always think about, will I ever get it? Will I ever want to buy it back? And if the answer is no, well, actually, I guess it can be two ways, but like usually I will never want to buy it back if I sell it, right? So, and the thing is, I might want to buy it back if I ever sold it. So I will never sell it that way, if that makes sense. Just because, yeah, I just can't even imagine. Like if I sold it today, in 2 years time, it'll be double of what I bought it at almost, and it's just, I just can't. I probably can't. So only desperate measures, right? Like if something really bad happens, I needed the money, then yeah, okay, that trumps everything. But like, you know, knock on wood that those things never happened. Yeah, good question though.
Okay, let me pull this one from Jacqueline. Any thoughts on Chanel watches? Any feedback? So I have a Chanel watch. I have the J12, and mine is in the automatic. I think Chanel watches are just fashionable watches. If you ask any watch enthusiast or connoisseur, they will say that Chanel watches are rubbish because they're not really, with the whole mechanism, etc. It's obviously you're paying a lot for the brand and not really the watch itself. But as a fashion watch, damn, it really looks so good. I have the black ceramic, and it's this edgy bracelet that's, it really stands out when you wear it. So it looks good. It looks really sharp, and yeah, it's very stylish. So I think for Chanel watches, you got to really like it and buy it for yourself, just like their bags as well, right? Then to think about it as an investment, like a Rolex or an AP or a Patek, because they don't hold their value so much. However, because it's gone up so much, I don't know right now. Like maybe if you bought it when I got my Chanel watch for what, 6+ thousand. I think it's 12 now. Some crazy number. So I don't think I'll lose out if I would ever like resell it, but I don't think it's a watch that it will, be 3-4 times the price, like a Rolex.
So I don't have any Chanel watches. I only have one watch right now, if we're not counting my old other stuff. But I want to ask you, Kat, would you consider, I know they're not going to be exactly like that, but would you consider the Chanel, say J12, since it's probably the most popular, to have almost like a slight status of like a collector's worthy, not like the Rolex, but like, you know how if you're really watch person, then it has that kind of like, you know, you have to collect one. You feel like the J12 is like that?
Mm, no,
No? Okay.
no, no. It's a Chanel watch, so you gotta love it, but not from a like, oh my gosh, I need to add a Chanel into my uh, arsenal of other watch pieces. No, it's definitely not at a par. If let's say you got an AP, you're like, I want to collect them all, and Rolexes, various Rolexes, because there's a range.
Uh-huh.
I think Chanel it's a nice to have piece if you love watches and you like that fashion element to it. But yeah, it doesn't hurt. That's
Okay.
me. I'm coming from my perspective of not really a watch person, but just I just like the look. So if anybody has a different feedback, please share as well.
So let me ask you this then. If you had all these watches, because you do, and desperate measures, or desperate enough that
Oh
you have to like sell something, right? Would you sell your Chanel watch?
no. So
Oh.
I think I would, because I have three now, right? I have
Uh-huh.
three luxury watches. So I have a Rolex, a Cartier, and a Chanel. So I have an Omega as well, but obviously will never sell that. That's for my parents. So three of
Yeah.
these that I bought. If I had to sell one of them, I think I will let go. I think I'll let go of my Cartier because it's a steel version, and I have my Rolex already. But my Chanel is unique. It's ceramic. It's different from what I could wear it when I'm just on a casual day out, because the Rolex is a flashy watch. Huh? it's like
Mm.
it's like a piece of gold on your hand, right? Gold and
Mm-hmm.
steel. But the Chanel, it doesn't, unless it's just a bracelet, a black bracelet. So it would be second. So if let's say I had to, it'll be Cartier first, goodbye Chanel, and then Rolex if I really need to.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good. So the Chanel watch is still pretty high up there then. It's a good watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. The look is it's different, and they
Mm-hmm.
do come up with cute ones, like the Mickey Mouse, Coco Mickey Mouse. Oh, that's a cute one. Claire has that. They have one that's all, I think they call it I think it's called Phantom. So meaning it's single color. So even the dials are all white. So it just looks like one full white bracelet or one black bracelet. So good. So yeah, it's the look. Chanel is definitely
Mm.
a look, right? The bags are a look. The clothes are a look. The watches.
Understood. Okay. Thank you, Kat. I see another question from me. I mean, how did your Hermes sweatshirt hold up? I have never bought a sweatshirt from Hermes and was skeptical. Well, ES, I am so glad that I was able to buy that sweatshirt in Hawaii
Good
because
one.
it was completely sold out in Vancouver. They only had a pink one left, and I don't even think it was in my size. And I was desperate because I really, really liked the sweatshirt. And so yeah, it was meant to be because in Hawaii there was only one left and it was only a 34. And I'm like, I wasn't sure at first because I was thinking I wanted more oversized, but actually it works out perfectly because it's also a little dressier because it's in my proper
Mm.
size. I love the sweatshirt so much because it's so cozy. I have so much sweatshirts because I live here. I wear sweatshirts in the winter because it's easy. But this is like literally my favorite sweatshirt. It's so warm inside because it has maybe because it's the fall winter season one, so the inside has more of like it's not fleece, but it feels so soft. It has a little bit of the kind of like the wool. Can't remember the percentage. There was a small percentage of like warm fibers, and it's so nice and soft, and it's structured at the same time. Like it's not so structured that it's so stiff. It has a give, but it's also structured and very, very so nice. I don't know how else to describe it. So I was so glad I was able to get it. And I liked it so much that I almost wanted to get the current season sweatshirt. However, the current season, the difference is the material, because the current season is the summer collection. So it's just cotton, and the inside is kind of that like terry, like that terry cotton, like
Terry, like a towel, terry. Yeah.
it's not quite towelish, but it's not soft like mine. It has more of a rough, you know how they do the I don't know how to describe it, but I know terry is the word. The terry
It's like
cotton. I
fluffier.
don't know. But anyway, I almost wanted to buy the current season just because I had such a good experience with this one, but I might wait for the fall winter one again, just because the current season one, it's the same look and everything, different print, but the fabric is a little thinner. I feel it will also feel this a little different from the one that I currently have. And I only wear sweatshirts in the winter. I don't really wear it when it's a bit warmer. So I'd rather get it in the right season, in the right material. But I love it. It's so worth it. It's so worth it for me because I literally wear sweatshirts all the time in winter. It's so easy. Keeps me warm and everything.
Oh, we have a question on the handbag. Okay, hang on. Let me pull this. Also, Jacqueline, what do you think about the new Chanel 23S Mini with the little camellias? Huh? Is there a new bag? Is this the denim one?
Camellia.
Is this the denim one? The denim
that one is not 23S though. I don't remember seeing the 23S camellia.
little
My
camellias.
phone is there, so the little camellia. Which one? Let me see if I can maybe find it quickly.
Right.
Is it a flap or what?
It's
It's
mini,
a mini,
little.
right?
I think it's a flap.
Mini. Let's see if I can find it. Because if it's the 23P, that's the one that you're thinking about. The denim with the camellia, that's 23Ps, not 23S. 23S is what's coming out literally this week.
Oh, it's coming out. Oh my gosh.
But the
we should be doing a
is
video
already
on the
out.
new launches, actually, the fashion launches.
Okay.
While
Oh,
you look,
no, that's not camellia.
Oh.
Trying to see if I can go to flat bags, maybe see if there's I don't see a camellia one.
I have sold 4, no regrets. Okay, while you look for that, we can come back to this, and we can put a discussion. I saw here we go, Corinne. So we'll come back to your question while we look for that 23S Mini. Corinne's asking everyone, or at least us, and then we'll ask everyone as well. Do you think there will be more fakes as a result of these price increases?
Yeah. But there always has been. I don't know if it's more. Like, how would I know if there's gonna be more? That's the question.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think there was a comment. I mean, there was a comment earlier like, "Hello, DH Gate." I saw somebody write that.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that was so funny because I think there will be more people just, considering. Will say, you know what? I'll just get the lookalike. I'll get the dupe instead. I'm sure there will be because it's so out
However,
of
the,
reach.
I get it, but like the psychology is different for someone like me, or I'm not sure, maybe that's a different value, because the way I think also is, if I can't get the real thing, I don't want to wear it. Like if I'm gonna, like I always think, like if I'm gonna do something, I might as well do my best, right? So if I can't do something, then I'm just not gonna do it. And it's about it, to me it's the same. Like if I can't own the real thing, I'd rather just not own it, not even the fake thing. I just don't see any joy and value in owning the fake thing personally, right? I
Yeah.
don't, I can't understand the value, and I can't get joy out of it, I feel. So
And I can see the fake, so it's quite obvious. So I was
yeah.
actually walking to the office, and we were, in the train tunnel, like the MRT tunnel, and there was this lady in front of me. I feel bad, okay, but I thought, wow, carrying a mini, not a mini, but a Chanel classic flat small caviar for work. It was like early in the morning. Oh, okay. For a moment, I thought, oh, I carry it for work too. That's a great idea. Wear for work. But as I walk closer, because I'm nosy and I like to look at people's bags, I was like, ooh. Then I looked at it. I was like, eh, it's pretty good. Like, for the majority of people who are not familiar with the bags, it's quite legit. But there are signs that it is not. I was like, oh, she's carrying a fake.
Oh, and a lot of fakes look so good and
They look good.
almost
Yeah, they
undetectable unless you're looking so close to it, right? But
like
that's
me. I'm like,
beside the point for me too. Like again, I can't, I don't know if I know I will not find joy in wearing a fake, because I know it will be not real, and
yeah.
I just wouldn't want that. I'd rather get a Zara dupe of, but it's not a
Mm,
fake.
mm.
It's just like, let's say if they make a version of the 22 bag, right, with some chains, but it doesn't say 20, like it doesn't say Chanel on top, but it's cute. Like maybe they put some camellia print on the fabric or something. But hey,
Yeah,
it's cute. I wouldn't mind wearing that.
yeah.
It's not a fake though. It's a good alternative that looks like the 22 style, but it's not the 22. So I would totally wear that, but I wouldn't wear a fake. Like I don't I don't get joy out of it, knowing that it is not the real thing, which means that I'd rather not buy it and not get it or wear it. Okay, but
And
anyway, so this is the only camellia bag, which is from
right,
23P.
this is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
It's
not
cute.
23S. So this is 23P, which is the pre-spring summer collection. I think it's I'm pretty sure I talked about it. Oh, but it was a members live. Um Pretty sure I said that I liked it too. During the members live, I said that this is like the cute version of their it's cuter version of their denim bag, and also because they added the heart and the fabric has the camellias. But I just didn't like the chains overall. That's the only
Mm.
thing I didn't like. I wish that they just did a I like this bit here, like the
The
heart,
heart.
but I prefer if this was the intertwined chain. But it did look
Oh,
really cute on the models, like so cute on the models. And they made two sizes. They made this smaller size and they made a medium size.
yeah.
If this is the one that you're talking about.
It's cute. I saw it in store actually. The
Oh,
material. Yeah, and it's
yeah.
nice. Like when you see it up close, the camellias look cute. Cute.
How was the chains?
So this is the same mini flap that I was gonna try. I was thinking of getting for the green. So the chains are they're nice. It's not too light, but it's not too heavy as well. So it gives a bit of heft to the whole bag. Oh, and I really like that
Did you
little.
try it on?
I tried on the green version. So not
did
this
you
one.
like the feel of the chain being metal though?
Yeah, I did. I
Okay.
did. It's not light, but it's not heavy as well. But Jacqueline said no, it's the new one in black and also white. Oh, so there's a new
There's
one.
a new one. Honestly, I'm not sure which one. Maybe can you send a link if you have a link to the actual one? Because okay, so new one.
Maybe it's not out yet.
Not out yet.
Oh, it has a chain, but the bead is a camellia. And it's from 23S. It's on the French site. What?
The B?
The
What bead?
bead. It has a chain, but the bead is a camellia. And that means the button, is it? The adjustable button is a camellia. Oh my god, that's so cute.
It sounds really cute. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it
which
sounds
one
really
it is
cute.
because these are the ones that I see on the online. So these are all the flap bags, and that's it. That's it. And then if I go
Is this on
to
the
the other
French?
categories, there's
Oh, she said
hobo.
it's on the French website.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's try the French website. See if I
Okay.
can just.
While you're going to look for that, I'm going to pull some comments out on the fake stuff. So Selena saying there's a huge difference between the fake and authentic, completely different product. Definitely completely. I could see it.
Yeah.
And
You can
then
feel it too.
yeah, I'm sure if you feel it, if you touch it, you can probably hear the squeaks.
The French website has the same bags, babe. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it the flap bag or is it the like
that's cute.
unless it's on the app but not on the website? Is it Sac Hobo or is it like which one is it? It's not Maxi for sure. Vanity? Is it Vanity? No, it's not Vanity. It's not. No. No. It's not. Cannot be Hobos, but I'll just go there anyway. The 22.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, it's so
I see
cute.
a lot of people looking for this bag. This is going to be the next hot bag next season.
Me too. I'm gonna have like FOMO about it. It's not gonna be these, and it's not gonna be the evening bags. So
Cute.
I don't know which
Wow,
one.
there are a lot of new bags, huh? Shall not
There
see.
is. There is. But it's not, I can't see it unless it's in these. Is it a small leather goods version of a bag? If you can send the link, if you have the link, it would be great. I can share the
That'll be
link.
helpful.
Because it won't be this. It cannot be. These are just all the big shopping bags. Yeah. If you have the link, it would be really helpful because I don't think it's any of these. And then if I go, let me see. If I go like, let me just go all the way to the bottom.
I find that the new
here,
site for Chanel is so annoying. It's like, it's
yeah,
not everything.
If I look at all the new stuff.
Ooh, cute.
But
there's a star bag.
Yeah, there is. It was on the runway, babe.
Oh my gosh.
I don't see any camellia on like that's why I wasn't sure which one they were talking about. I don't remember seeing one.
Hey, there's a trapeze.
Those are all the new
bag.
ones.
Cute.
Those are all the new ones already. And it's not these, right? It's not none of these. It's not the boy. And I already went through this. It's not maxi for sure. It's not going to be a backpack. It's not vanity. It's not this. I already saw this too. Okay, I'm going to go to the French one. No, they don't even have any. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, send the link.
Yeah.
Send the link.
That would be much more helpful.
Okay, she sent it to your IG.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, my IG. Okay, my phone is my phone is attached as my webcam, so I'm gonna have to go on my IG here.
Okay. Molly is saying, I hate the drawstring with a passion. Why? Why?
Yeah, I don't know my
bad.
password.
Not too bad.
RG. I'm gonna have to move my phone if that's the case. Anyway,
Send it to me. Send it to me. Jacqueline, send it to me. Okay, send it to me.
I'm sorry, babe, because I'm using my phone as my webcam. So Kat can share it if you send it to Kat.
Yeah. Share it to me. I can see it. So curious now. Like, what is this bag?
I know. I'm like, what? Oh, it's an IG photo. No wonder. It's on. I didn't see it on the French website either.
Send it to me, Jacqueline. Send it to me. Okay. Well, wait.
There's a question from Vivi. Isn't the Chanel 22 mini too small? I think it's quite tiny, even when the small person is carrying it. It is meant to be a mini bag, though. But I don't know if it's too small. It depends, because you can definitely fit your phone. I think any size phone will fit.
Oh my God, it's cute.
Okay, share it on the screen.
Okay, wait. All right. Let me see. How can I do this? Hang on. Because wait. How do okay, hang on. Wait. Let me go closer to my camera.
Or either you send it to my. I know it's annoying. I don't have my phone access.
Oh wow, the camellia is cute. Hang on.
Okay.
Because I can't focus, right? So let's do this.
Yeah, it's not focusing though.
Not focusing. Let's do this. All right, how's that?
Oh. Oh, okay.
Look at that camellia. Look at it.
It is cute. It's not on the website. Did I miss it? Let me go back. Okay, it's definitely on the first, like the Sakahaba.
Oh my goodness, that is cute.
No, it's not on the website. No.
Okay, let me just. I have to refocus my face now. Yep. Okay, that's me.
I mean, if you can get a hold of it, get it. It's such a cute color, and it's also a cute little seasonal bags, right? They can make such cute seasonal bags. Cute color, cute detail.
Wow. Yep. Cute. Yes.
But anyway, we were answering Vivi. I don't think it's too small, but it depends, right? How like you're not gonna fit your whole life in the 22 mini. It's your phone, card holder, I don't know, compact, your keys. Probably those are it. And then maybe there's a space for your lipstick or like a pack of gum or something. Probably there's not much more that you can fit in that. Because it's only 22 centimeters by 20 centimeters, right? And it's a flat, not super flat, but like it's a pretty flat profile. So it's small. It's a very small. It's a very small bag.
Wow. So it's new. It just came out. So Jacqueline's saying just came out last night on the website
or something, because I couldn't see it on the web.
It comes in rectangular black. Oh.
Ooh. I say if you
Mm,
don't have already like a mini flap, worth looking into for sure.
cute. Definitely cute.
Because so
Wow.
having said all that, right? What are we buying next? What is on everyone's shopping list? What's on your shopping list, Kat?
We might have an unboxing tomorrow on the members live.
Woo! Celebration.
Celebrate tonight.
For
I'm
me,
gonna put it up soon.
actually, I'm still trying to replace the sneakers that I sold because I don't have to necessarily get the same sports sneaker, but I want a sports sneaker from Chanel. So that's one thing I want to buy. And I'm just waiting for a size, like for my size to come. Those ones are so weird because those ones, like I said, I already sized up half a size from my usual size and they were still too short. So I don't know. I don't get it. And I hate it when I'm not wearing my usual socks at the store and I just wear their, very thin, flimsy, those like try on
Mm,
socks that they give you. And I thought it was my size, but it wasn't. And I didn't wear it for a long time. But yeah.
yeah.
And so before we wrap this up, I just wanted to say we are changing schedule very soon. Today was
Mm,
an exception because we had to move it up. But starting
next week.
next week, but it was for us is like this Sunday for us. We're actually moving forward the clock. So for you guys, for the public, next week's live will be well for us in North America. We're gonna switch our clock. It's still gonna be our 8 o'clock, but for the Asian folks, like for the people in SG, Hong Kong, it will be the 11 a.m.
1 hour
So
earlier.
just like today, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then the members live will also switch for us though, not for the SG folks, but for us here it will be 1 hour later, just because yeah, the time zone, the daylight
Mm,
saving is making things complicated. But just make sure you follow us on Instagram and also make sure you are, watch our community posts and just that way you will know when these episodes are live. But anyway, you're gonna get used to it very
yeah, we
soon.
do this twice a year, fixing the time, changing it an hour earlier or later. And yeah, it'll take a little adjustment. We'll miss a couple like here and there, but I think we'll be okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, next week, 11 o'clock on our time. So an hour earlier, right?
Yeah.
For us here.
All right. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you had fun and happy shopping. And you're still going to Chanel shopping. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the members and then next week for the rest of you.